Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about being unable to see the draft, but currently we were unable to produce that. We were having a little bit of slight technical difficulties, but I am VerdantChaos, and I'm joined by Abbatromb. Say hi, Abba.
Hello!
So here we're going to be seeing the picks come on through, but for the Rat Pack, which is the red side, they have Silas, Karma, Ezreal, Thresh, and Fiora. And for Mythic Rising, they have Maokai, Lulu, Tristana, Syndra, and Renekton. So, looking at these comps, what would you say is the win condition for Mythic Rising?
It looks like the rat. Oh, for Mythic. Let's see here. They kind of want this Tristana to get kind of big. They've got some decent dives and pick with Maokai and Renekton, and Syndra has some pretty good wave clear along with Tristana. And any sort of carry that gets ahead, they obviously have a Lulu to help protect them or peel off any potential targets that the pack rat might be having here.
So, and would you play around the Renekton at all? Or is that not really a factor here in your mind? Or would you just let him win the top lane by himself?
Uh, Fiora, Renekton, it's a bit of a skill matchup from what I've heard. And if this Fiora gets ahead, I think the 4-1 plan of the Rat Pack is going to really take place here. If Fiora gets big, they can split push, and then Ezreal and Karma can really poke people out here. Also, I think we're muted.
No cure for fools.
We are muted?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. I'm
It's
listening
saying,
to it right now.
It's saying unmuted on my end.
Let me at 'em.
I believe we are currently unmuted. It's saying
Okay, no, we are. Never mind. It was my phone.
we are. We were or we're not muted.
Well, we're speaking right now. We're live.
Okay. So as of right now, I think it's going to be very interesting seeing the kind of the Maokai into the Silas matchup. I believe Silas wins in a lot of these 1v1 skirmishes. However, Maokai usually kind of go in phase rush a lot of these, quite often most of these days. It's going to be able to get away from kind of Silas's engage, but Silas is going to have some pretty decent ults to take here. I think Lulu, Syndra, and Renekton, namely, would be some pretty rough ultimates for the Mythic Rising if he takes them.
Yeah, I could see Renekton where he gets super big, or Lulu to make another target, perhaps himself as well. That's slow, making it easier to land a lot of those skill shots, or for his team to land any skill shots there as well. Being able to stick onto those targets more, it's going to make him a lot more potent. Maokai's ultimate might not be too bad to steal as well. A little bit more follow-up, locking them down. Thresh's death box on top of that means they're certainly not going to be leaving anywhere, taking a lot of damage. And when you're locked into a box with Ezreal and Karma, it's going to hurt.
So looking at the Karma and the Thresh, yeah, you were talking about them wanting to go for the 1-4 kind of strat. Can Thresh and Karma peel off like the Maokai like engage onto them and like kind of get them off and then allow and kind of free up the Ezreal? Or do you think that this is going to be a little bit of a quagmire for him?
I don't think they'll be necessarily in Maokai's range. Ezreal Q is pretty big, and they just kind of have to sit and dirtle, throw out some skill shots, hit them up, make it unappetizing to engage here. And if their Fiora's ahead at all, she'll be able to take towers. And if you have to send 2, possibly even 3 people to stop this Fiora, it means those fights are going to be flipped, and they're going to be able to pressure it and perhaps take some of those objectives as well.
Okay, so for let's say Maokai, what objective do you want to focus, or do you want to really stay kind of gank centric throughout this game?
Well, Maokai doesn't take objectives by himself very well, so I'd be expecting some sort of a gank, or at least a lot of pressure, take some sums, get them low, and then maybe either rotating into a healthy back for their laners, getting them ahead, perhaps taking another side. So I'm predicting he might be having to hover Dopamine Andy here to maybe stop the Fiora from going in, turning some of those numbers, and hoping that the parry doesn't go in where you can get the turnaround and get the knockback there. So I'd predict, that first Rift Scuttler might be a big play where there's going to be a lot of volatile gold, exchanging hands perhaps, and the game might be starting there. Although with the elo we're in, there might be a lot of dragon fights as well. It is a pretty good win con right now, but we got to remember it's not the only win con that they could be going for.
All right. As we're kind of winding down here, we're just gonna be right back and get ready for the incoming game in about a minute. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and we are going to be getting into it right now. Oh, sorry. You can go on, Abba.
Yeah, it looks like we're going through a bot side invade. We'll have to see if they're able to protect it on the side of blue. They're going for more of a weird 5 point, protecting their top side. There's a potential for Soying or Astro to get potentially picked off here with Nihito's hook. Or they might just be getting some nice vision here as well.
Ooh. Right now they're able to at least, and Mythic is able to at least respond and get some of the vision on the top side buff, but they're still going to be staying as a 5-man here. Unable to find anything, but
Dragavan's going to be having to back here soon. Otherwise, they're going to be behind a little bit in the farm in CS, which isn't going to be good. It looks like Mythic was able to get a blue ward on the red buff, so they're going to be able to see and snuff out where tons of bagels is going to be starting.
so I'd be surprised if they had a blue ward right about now. I think we're a few minutes too early on that.
Well, oh yeah. Blue team has a ward, yeah, for sure. I misspoke.
I'm just kidding. So right now, Silas is just going to be going through, and I think at this point it's going to be a five or six clear for both of these laners. But I'm excited to see this level 2 spike on the top lane.
Yeah, it looks like MTC Manic is going for a bit of a cheeky invade here, getting 2 buffs with a bit of vertical jungling. We'll have to see if Bagel is able to predict this and maybe go for some counter jungling as well, doing a little bit of a splitting the map here. It looks like with how he's hovering, he's going to be trying to go for his Raptors, and Manic is going to be able to get away and take
Ooh,
this buff.
that's a nice slice through. Able to get away from that, but Fiora is going to be getting a lot of these vital procs, getting the flashes out from both top laners. Or at least for Renekton there. Well played.
Looks
Well
like we're
played
gonna
by
be a no
Dragon.
flash Andy for a little bit, but that saved his life, not getting his vitals procced, which is going to be very excellent. Dargavan played that quite well. Looks like his east side is going to be.
Ooh. Just getting that max range. Right now, Andy is just not looking so good here. The double dash away.
Yeah, this is kind of what Rats want. They really want their top laner to be ahead. Now, the upside of being Renekton here is you don't have any mana to worry about. You just got to keep your health pool up, and you do have a little bit of sustain in your kit. However, if you're getting poked out this hard, you might not be able to use it.
So that is a good ward drop. That is a good vision drop there. But right now, Renekton trying to go in on Dragavan, but it's going to be throwing the Ignite on him. But then that's going to be a pickup for Bagels there on the top side. Good awareness on Bagels. So an interesting thing to keep in mind is Bagels did the 3 clear on the bot side, then back to base for a Dark Seal. I think that's quite interesting.
Yeah, it looks like it is paying off, even though it was a little bit more interesting to build. Manic possibly
Gets the
catching out
smite.
Bagels here if he's going to get the speed up here. And it looks like Syndra was not able to get that stun there. So he's going to be coming back with his life and not losing these Dark Seal stacks anytime soon.
So initially, Bagels was kind of down on that farm, but then being able to smite that Scuttle Crab really just brought him back into this. He has a kill. He has an item. He was able to get that farm. He's looking in a really good position here. And Andy shoved up in the top side, and it looks like he might be rotating for a possible gank again on him. This might be some dire straits for Andy. Andy trying to get some damage off. Does he have the slice and dice? He does, but he's going to get picked up instantly by Bagels, but Dragon's going to be getting the takedown there.
Yeah, the gold going in them is going to make it a lot harder. The tent has been pitched, and we were going for topside, just as I was predicting within the early game. This is exactly what we want to be seeing out of the Rat Pack. Rats together, strong, as they were saying in Twitch chat.
I think that would be an interesting movie, just Planet of the Rising Rats.
That would be, I mean, there's a lot of psych tests being done on them, so maybe they're getting a little bit of revenge in that film. We'll have to see. Maybe Twitch will take a play in there.
I think what is it? The Rats of Nim, I think, are probably like the closest film equivalent I could think of to that.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like Manic might be falling a little bit more far behind in this farm. His clear is not going to be quite as fast as Bagels.
Ooh, that was a nice grab on the King there. That's good. Is the Ignite going to be get there? No, it's not going to be able to. But Next is going to be able to get the auto off with the flash in there.
Yeah,
well played by Next there. That's trading a flash Ignite for a kill onto Lulu and for 2 sums. So that's very well played.
Yeah, that early Ignite there, playing into a lot. If you're ever playing into an Ignite, you're going to want to be doing a little heal early to make sure you get all of the value at the beginning of the fight.
So right now, Andy definitely played that last little exchange very well, but the Caulfield boots versus just the longsword is really going to start making up a difference here. But now they're going to be getting a jump from Astra, but Astra is going to get instantly exhausted. They're going to be picked up by Hito. Hito is unable to get any further hooks, but that was really well played by them.
Yeah, very well. Manic hasn't been able to get any of these ganks off, which is going to make things hard. Dopamine Andy does have a level up on Dargavan, which could mean they die to a tower dive should things be played. But the riposte is kind of deadly. making sure she does not get any of this XP off of this wave, making sure she stays at level 5 for as long as possible. But we'll have to see how much Tower's going to save her here.
Ooh,
Popping Ghost when she
the
gets her 6 and
6.
an ult
That's the R.
immediately, but that's not going to be
Ooh.
enough. And Dopamine's going to be taking a kill here. Barely
Even
getting
with
out
that
with his life.
increased tower damage. Wow. Good return kill from Andy there.
Yeah, a very good return kill. Shutting that win condition down early is going to be very potent, but it looks like our second win condition, Ezreal on you with You Are Next, might be getting a little bit of a tent here as well, especially with Dragon up already. And Astro already having 1 death. Boots is nice, but it might not be enough to save them.
So right now, King might get caught out here by Bagels here. Looks like they're going to be pushing him off. Doesn't look like anything's going to go further. But now you have LeBlanc, Cinder getting chased down by the two red side there. So now with kind of objectives starting to really spawn in here, do you think that Rift Skull is going to be as blood soaked as you really thought it was going to be?
Well, we've already seen a number of deaths over there and people fighting over that Scuttle Crab already. And speaking of which, it looks like we're getting a gank side top from Mythic
Maniac
Rising.
Coming in with the riposte, going to be getting the stun off, going to get a flash away from that.
It's what makes ganking a Fiora so difficult. Your riposte.
Ooh, going to be a flash onto King. That's going to be a hook from Hito onto Astro. Astro is getting kind of low here, but that's a pickup from next onto King there. That's honestly very well played by the Thresh. That like Hito really just kind of controlled the entirety of that fight. So well played by him.
Yeah, well played. And it doesn't help that they had a 20 CS lead. They're gonna be able to back here soon with an excellent crash on Cannon Wave. Astro is going to be losing a little bit of gold here, which is not going to be great. And when you're Ezreal and you're ahead, you really start to hurt, especially if you're able to land these skill shots like we're seeing from You Are Next. Making a list, checking it twice, and securing these kills.
So right now, it is going to be going for that Rift Sculler. Sorry, the Rift Herald. I misspoke. Silas does have the Maokai ult. Bagels might be throwing this over the wall to possibly try to contest this Herald, but Herald is going to then be falling to the Mythic Rising. But Andy is going to be diving in onto Dragavan. Dragavan's going to be dashing away there. It's going to be getting a flash off onto it, but now there's going to be some dire straits possibly. That's going to be a pickup onto Bagels. Andy overcommitting and getting caught out by Bagels.
Yeah, when your flash is down, you're not able to get as much, and you don't have a way of stopping CC, unlike Dargavan's Fiora, which is going to make them so much more slippery. The Tench has been pitched yet again, evening out the gold, and this is going to be, we're talking like a 10 CS lead here, and if the second wave crashes and Dargavan's able to get it, that's going to be even more here, plus that plate. It's going to be not lights out, but a lot harder, sitting at a 900 gold lead on Fiora.
Also, on the bottom side of the map, they're going to be picking up this dragon. So this is then going to precipitate almost a 4K gold lead. This is quite impressive already at the 10-minute mark. But now Maniac's going to be thrown in the ultimate. Hito is going to get caught out by that. Next is trying to stay behind him, unable to take any further damage. That's going to be a bomb coming out from the Triss there, but nothing further.
Yeah, nothing further. Ezreal here is sitting at 4.2k gold versus Astro's 1.6. There's a bit of a gold deficit here, and You Are Next has been able to spend it. Essence Reaver is really quite potent on Ezreal, so this tower could be taking some damage, or they could be taking a lot of poke. It's exactly where they want to be standing as Ezreal.
I'd imagine a pre-10-minute Essence Reaver really puts in the work.
It certainly does. It certainly does. It helps keep your mana, and it looks like Andy here getting his vitals procced. Darvin taking another kill here. Your top laners are 1-4 on the side of Mythic Rising. It's still a very winnable game here, but they're going to have to figure out how they're going to deal with a Fiora at this point in the game, having a decent amount of gold. And the moment they're able to get this tower and free it up, champions are going to be able to rotate, and these matchups are going to change a lot, sitting at the near 12-minute mark.
So right now it's looking. Ooh, that's going to be Bagels going in onto Maniac. Maniac trying to get the shove away. He's very low here. Is Bagels going to be able to pick up this kill? He will be able to. He flashes into it. That's going to be a nice pickup on a Bagels. Good awareness for him of just tracking out tracking out Maniac here.
Yeah, tracking the jungler, as we saw with those early visions, trying to do an invade and getting the ward on the enemy jungler's buff, able to kind of track, figure out the clear patterns, really helps make some of these plays and facilitate getting these objectives. However, Mythic Rising does have all of the objectives that have been taken right now, which is really going to help them maybe stabilize in the mid and late game here as the early game is coming to a close and Rats are securing the early game, it looks like.
So right now, the one important thing to note is Syndra does have 10 farm a minute. So she's going to be doing. She's very much going to be scaling into this game, and I think she's going to be a crucial part for Mythic here because you have your early game Tristana with the Hail of Blades, and she isn't doing as well as Ezreal. But this is going to be. I'll quick get back to that point, but right now Dragon's going to be going in onto Andy. Things aren't looking so good for Andy, and that's going to be a vital proc here. He's going to be just getting away with a little bit of HP, but this is very, very close on the top side. But you also have Renekton, who's very aggressive in the early game. And both of these things aren't going as well as you would have desired. Right now, Bogus is trying to see if they can get a grab onto this, but Dragonvan having good awareness there and going to be able to get away from this kill and from this death.
Yeah, just barely getting away. The Rift Herald will be settling here. They might be losing some farm, but it's guaranteed that Mythic is going to get some plating here, which is going to feel good for them for sure.
Ooh, right now the Ezreal ult coming in from downtown, but Bogus able to get the pickup onto Dragonvan with the ultimate there.
Yeah, no riposte was going to be used there to save their life, but, she still has a pretty big gold lead here. She's still going to be a big threat at this point in the game.
So right now it looks like they are going to be kind of rotating this Thresh around to try to get some of this extra vision control, it would seem. With the next objective coming up being Dragon, do you really want to fight for this on the side of, the Rat Pack? Or would you like to really kind of take the advantage you have to go to, take towers?
Well, mid-prio always facilitates a lot of stuff. That's where the shortest lane is, and you can always rotate from there to any other spot. You can rotate this Dragon, or if Rift is going to be coming up soon as well. And don't forget that You Are Next is pretty free to push here, very safe, and pressuring towers there as well.
So with the Caulfields coming out of the Ezreal here, is for You Are Next, does he want to get a Navori Quick Blades?
Oh, absolutely. Navori Quick Blades is very good on Ezreal. An extra 12% damage on all your abilities with such low cooldowns is pretty good. He might be going Kraken for a third item. I've seen that a fair amount, but I've seen other mythics as well, so we'll have to see what they end up picking. Either way, he's gonna hurt, sitting at 131 CS at nearly 15 minutes, getting a decent chunk of farm, and not as much as Syndra. Actually, no, they're about tied now.
So with Navori Quick Blades and the IE change being as strong as they are, is there ever a world in which you want to go AP on any of your AD champs? Would you still want to ever do that on Varus, Kog'Maw, or would you just rather go for a build that goes into those items?
I think you would just want to stick with a build that kind of goes into those items. Although we might have to hold this point.
That's going to be Maokai. That's going to be Maokai for Maokai all in for this fight. There's going to be a huge poking out. Maniac's going to be trying to get in there, but that's going to be a grab onto Hito. Astro trying to jump out and escaping with barely any HP, but that's going to be a possible pickup on him. That's going to be the first person to go down is Bogus from Kunte. Kunte is going to be getting that pickup. Kunte is trying to look for more, going to be getting the grab onto Soking. The Maniac's going to be trying to go in. Hito able to grab Maniac. That's going to be also a pickup on to Astro, and now Soking is going to be the only one getting out. I misspoke. That is going to be Bagels flashing in for Soking, and that's going to be 4 people falling on the side of Mythic Rising and a Dragon to go up against them.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder for Mythic Rising to get the soul, which is kind of part of their win con, it looks like. And with Fiora sitting up here fairly comfortably versus Andy, she might be able to get this tower, being there's no threat of a gank if all of your allies are in Fountain.
Absolutely. And right now she's just laying waste to this tower quite a bit. And right now you have to think about it. The only tower damage that really came through from Andy was the one kill early when he killed her under tower around the level 6 spikes, and the Shelly. Outside of
Well,
that, she has been really kind of controlling this lane.
under that first kill, no plates were taken, so it was mostly the Shelly there that was doing a lot of the damage here. But he's going to be having his nice support roam, but there's going to be a counter roam by Nihikdo. So this 2v2 is not looking favorable for them at all.
So right now, Maniac is trying to slowly but surely get back into this game, but right now he's down 20 CS. You're down 20 CS nearly in the top lane. Mid lane's still ahead, but you're down 40 CS in the bot lane. So for Mythic, what do you do to get back into this?
I
What is
think
your win con here?
I think you're gonna have to understand that top lane unfortunately is lost. You're gonna have to find some way to stabilize there and then figure out where your numbers are and push for it. If we see Dragavan overextending, taking your numbers advantage, locking them down, making sure they can't get as much of a lead as possible might be what you need to do. Or try and find ways to trade objectives where they might be overcommitting and you're able to get a return when you might not
Ooh,
normally
that's
be
going to
able
be
to
a
do that.
nice stun on Andy. Andy getting low here. Is the third Vital Proc going to go off? It will be. That's going to be a pickup on a Bagels there, coming in, throwing in the Q. And that's going to be a first turret kill for the side of the Rat Pack. Looking quite dominant so far.
Yeah, Andy trying to hug the wall there to prevent any vital proc was very smartly done. Unfortunately, the goal difference is gonna make things a little bit more awkward for them, trying to have to get out there as well and securing that kill. Especially when you have a tent pitched in, it never feels great.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We were just experiencing some technical difficulties. Apologies for that. But now we are going to be getting back into it.
Yeah.
So right now, Bagels is trying to get away here, but it appears that he's going to have enough move speed to get on out. This Night Harvester, given that extra movement speed, I think is going to be very efficient for him for this game.
Yeah, Night Harvester with Dark Harvest is going to make these targets kind of get bursted down pretty fast, especially when you're 5-0 and 3 and you have a Dark Seal at 10 stacks.
I just noticed that. That's going to be very much brutal for them. Right now, Andy's trying to reclaim as much of the map as he can, but this is just going to be very, very difficult for him.
Yeah, Mythic Rising here having no heal cut versus, Silas and Fiora. That heal's gonna come in pretty hard. Not to mention with Karma's Mythic here, that's a lot more healing on top of that. It could be very potent to face.
That, and she already has a Chemtech Putrefier, so a lot of the healing coming out from Mythic Rising here is going to be very much mitigated. So Maniac going to be caught out by Hito here, going to be getting a grab, but Bagels is going to be picking up that kill very quickly here, and that looks like this is going to be a red side dragon for the Rat Pack.
Yeah,
so
this is going to be more shielding and healing. Thresh does a little bit of shielding as well, but their team also has a decent amount of healing, kind of like I mentioned before. And Karma, I almost forgot about her shield and heal as well in her W. That's gonna help them a lot. It's not 5% is a huge amount, but you're certainly gonna feel it when you're already at a deficit of nearly 10,000.
Wow. So right now, Mythic Rising, how do you do it from here? Do you just play to protect your Syndra? Because it appears that she's going to be doing probably the most damage for their team. Or how do you really want to set up around objectives?
At this point in the game, you have to understand you don't get to make the plays. You have to play the map that you are given to and figure you're out from there. And at this point, you're going to have to find where they're overcommitting or you can scale.
Right now, Dragvin's trying to go in on Andy a bit, but he's going to be trying to run away from the team. But now the team's there. Squads are there, and they're unable to find anything. But Bagels is going to be having a pretty strong angle here onto them. That's going to be a push from Bogus onto them. But now Hito is going to be grabbing Bogus. That's going to be damage coming in from your next. Your next is going to be able to get the kill off the wall. Bogus trying to going in, finding a kill. Bogus going to be going in again, getting another kill onto Astro. And this looks to be a bit of a disaster. And that's going to be a quadra for Silas.
Yeah, when you're at a bit of a gold deficit...
Well, that's GG.
Okay, yeah, well, that's GG. Well, when you're behind like this, you can't be taking these fair fights. You're going to be losing them. You're going to feel the gold deficit that you had in the early game that's bled into these later stages of the game. You're going to have to find where they're making mistakes and execute it. Unfortunately, we'll have to see how they end up replaying this in the game 2, how they're going to adjust their strategy and beat Rats together strong.
Right. So for now, and looking at that last game, who do you give the MVP to?
Well, I certainly have to be giving it to Bagels. He is tempo, enabled a lot of plays to happen. Dargavin was able to get ahead, no thanks to all of his ganks getting lots of gold there, and he was able to hover the bot lane to help get UR next ahead as well. Knowing where to set those tents really enabled his entire team and got some of those objectives as well.
All right, and while we get set for the next game, we're just gonna be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. They quickly sprinted into this draft, so we are going to be seeing the Jax, Karmazaya, and Rakan coming in from the Rat Pack, and Mythic is going to be choosing Shen, Zed, Jin, and Annie. We're going to be seeing this last pickup going to be going to a Mordekaiser. So it looks like this is going to be Mordekaiser jungle, and this is going to be Jax top here. But we have the two lovers in the bot lane.
Yeah, the lovers duo for sure, making a love nest. Hopefully not in Fountain. It'll be somewhere in the bot lane, taking some kills on the side of the rack pad. Certainly playing that first game very well. You know, Jax has been doing numbers in solo queue, so we'll have to see if this transitions into a 5v5 format. I expect him to do pretty well, especially with how we saw that Fiora. There was no Fiora ban, so it looks like they didn't find it to be too threatening. They found the Sylas to be a little bit more threatening, and unfortunately, you won't be seeing Elise this game, kind of like you wanted to see before.
Oh, rats. Ah, see what I did there?
Yeah.
But we're going to be seeing kind of some of these global plays with possibly Lux and the Shen, which I think, obviously, Lux isn't technically global, but she has a very, very long range on her ultimate.
It certainly feels global when you're on the receiving end. Getting sniped from Fog of War, never fun, but it's going to be a support Lux. There's going to be a little less damage, not too much less. But when you have a Jin by your side, that's a lot of lockdown, able to secure the W, and your fourth shot might be what takes you down.
All right, so we are going to be getting into it. So now, looking at both of these teams, what do you think the win condition is here for the Rat Pack?
The Rat Pack here might be going for more of a split push. We saw how well Dragon was able to do within the 1v1, especially once they got a lead. And Jax is pretty much a 1v1 king. There are very few champions that can deal with him. Shen's going to be able to try here with his stop, but if you're able to kind of lock down this Shen, not letting them roam and ult to their allies, it's less of a significant pick here, especially if you're able to secure any amount of CC to stop that from coming through, like with Jax's AoE stun.
So, with objectives in mind, and you have a Zed and Mordekaiser, usually kind of untraditional junglers in the jungle, what objectives do you really focus on here?
I'm expecting they're going to find a lane, they're going to find their nice little tent, or maybe they're going to be matching each other, trying to spoil each other's plans and take it. And once they get these nice picks with perhaps an eloquent display of vision, then they'll either rotate into an objective, whatever lane is nearby, they'll use that. Maybe it's a tower, maybe it's a dragon, maybe it's a baron, go into there. Or if they're feeling it not so healthy, they're just getting out of it, they're going to shove their wave and perhaps get a nice reset and a nice heal.
So an interesting thing to keep in mind that this is going to be I originally thought it was going to be a Lux support and Annie in the mid lane, but it's going to be Lux in the mid lane and Annie support.
Oh.
So in the times that you have you seen Annie support often or no?
I've seen it every once in a while. It's always felt a little awkward, but you don't miss your fourth stun with Annie. It's a point and click. You're going to go through. Jin and Annie are going to be a little bit buddies, both counting to forward for their nice eloquent setup. Although there is time for them to change until they hit 30 seconds. We're not going to be sure if that's going to be the guaranteed lock-in or not.
That's a fair point. Fair point. All right, let's see. We got the 55 seconds. But so for Annie's count up, what is the purple proc? Like I know that usually stuns with an ability. Does that increase the damage as well? Or I'm personally unfamiliar with Annie.
It just stuns. It does scale with the leveling, which I believe maxes out at 2 seconds. I forget which level. Probably knowing Riot's builds, it is going to be around level 13. But the higher level you end up being, the longer that stun's going to be.
I know at 13.3, like coming out, she skyrocketed up to like I believe it was a 55.3% win rate. So I think we're going to see a lot more of Annie. But I think they did. I don't know if they hot fixed her yet, but I think this is going to be kind of an exciting thing to see. And we're getting down to the wire here, and that's going to be Annie support. That's going to be an Annie. All
Yeah,
right.
it's sitting at a 1.25 stun to 1.5 and 1.75 at level 16. So when you get your ultimate, that's when the increase happens. So that's how it lines up. Or at least that's what LOL Wiki says.
All right. Well, as we wait for the spectator delay, we are most likely going to be coming right back. We're just going to be running commercial. So see you all in a bit. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and we're going to be seeing some possible invade shenanigans coming out from Mythic Rising here. They're trying to go in as 5, but they were unable to find any pickups there. So we're going to be getting into this game kind of uncontested at this point.
Yeah, Ezra Khan, you're a bit slippery, able to kind of duck in and out. You're not going to have all of your abilities to try and re-heal and re-dive back to an ally, but if you can just disengage once, that's going to be enough to protect you from a potential invade. stacking there as 5, Rats together strong, perhaps Mythic together strong as well. It looks like topside, we're going to be going for a lot of short trades with King taking Grasp here, although Dargavin obviously wanting some longer trades with Jax and Lethal Tempo.
So and right now I would predict that the Zed is going to be going for a full 6 clear along with Mordekaiser. Kind of, Zed's clear, what was it? Kind of right before we got into this new season of 13.1. He had like a ridiculously fast clear onto him. Right now, Shen trying to get some of this poke off. Dragon's going to be trading back the Counter Strike, but he had a near sub 3 minute clear, like 6 clear. But it's going to be very interesting to see Zed try to replicate
we're seeing that
this.
right now. He's already clearing his 3rd camp. Well, we're seeing Mordekaiser just starting his blue buff. Yeah, he's already about a camp behind now, already having to walk. You were right. I was not sure if how it was going to be that fast. Of course, with Mordekaiser's passive, you do a lot of AoE damage. I was going to be expecting a closer push. The screen is paused on stream.
All right. We are back at this in a bit of kerfuffle. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
And you'll want to display the scoreboard. Okay, it's playing.
Yep. We right about 48. All right. All right, we are back live. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for a bit of kerfuffle here, but we are now going to be getting back into it, and now we are live again. So we're going to be starting through this again. We have no spoilers so far, but it's going to be Zed versus Mordekaiser in the jungle, and the Zed will be clearing a little bit faster. That's all we know. Other than that, it's going to be a fairly uneventful game.
Yeah, certainly with these nice clears, we'll have to see what they end up setting for. Of course, both junglers starting on opposite sides of the map, so perhaps we'll be seeing more of a split. One's going to be going top to pressure for the win condition there, and one for the bot condition.
So with the kind of Karma in Lux mid matchup, does Lux even have a snowball's chance against this, or is Kunji just going to be able to have a free lane in this matchup?
I think Astro was able to get a lot of poke within the matchup there. They're going to be a little bit weaker pre-6 here because you're not going to have the ultimate, unlike Karma's mantra. So if you make it through there, I think you're going to start outscaling and you'll be able to get through it. Scoreboard needs to display.
Right.
Looks like King's being poked out here by Darvin. You only get to block so many auto attacks up until then, and it looks like the slow push here is going to enable a nice back here. Maybe though King isn't going to be able to get as much of this farm as he wants, or he's going to be at a little bit of a deficit because a back is going to be going on Dargavin here.
So right now he is able to get this cheater out, but there's going to be a grab from Hito onto Andy. Also, a thing to keep in mind, they did switch around a lot of their team, so it's going to be Astro now in the mid lane. Bogus is going to be the jungler. So King is going to be the top laner. Maniac. So it was just a full rotation from the side of Mythic here. But there's going to be a grab onto Kunje. Kunje is going to be barely getting away with their life there with that flash.
Yeah, the W heal there definitely saving their life. You getting 2 procs if you use your mantra definitely helps you sustain, not just because of the CC, but because of the health you gain with it as well.
So right now, with the Zed kind of getting this extra tempo, do you think that it was correct to go into the mid lane and try to spend it there?
Well, when you have this extra clear time, you have a little bit before your camps are going to be coming up, so you either want to be getting a back or some sort of a play. So if you're able to pressure some of the mid lane there, and they're not able to get as much as they would normally want to in the early game, that's going to make things harder for them.
So Dragon's going to be throwing in a lot of this damage. This lethal tempo is all stacked up, but now is going to be getting very low to all these minions. Dragon's having to flash out there.
Yeah, and with the more aggressive playstyle, they're not going to be having TP, and with this crash that King is going to have, that might be a CS deficit there. No Counter-Strike was able, when he was eating up all of those minion attacks, they really hurt at the beginning of the game. You gotta watch for it.
Right now, Next is getting a lot of this damage, and Hito coming in, getting the Ignite off him, and that's going to be pickup for You Are Next. You Are Next is looking quite dominant in this bot lane, but right now, Bogus is going to be going in on Kunje. Kunje is going to be able to get the root onto him. Bogus is then going to be falling to Kunje. It was really good spacing by him there.
Yeah, You Are Next and Nahito obviously want to be by their tower. That's going to be a lot farther for Dopamine Andy and MTC Manic to run away from. When you're playing Engage, you want to play by your tower, not get poked out, and then find the opportunity to just all in and beat them.
So right now, Hito is going to be able to get back. Is not going to be going back to base, but Next is going to be trying to shove this lane and get that item and bot here to really just kind of push for some of this advantage. But it looks like Andy probably has a possible freeze here in the bot lane.
I was expecting a recall reset so that they can come together, use that time and whatnot, because Zaya's wave clear at the beginning is a little awkward. He does reduced damage to minions, so it's a little difficult to necessarily figure out how much damage you need to do if you're not quite used to the champion. I know every once in a while it takes me a little bit and I'll miss some early CS because of it.
So an interesting thing to see here is that we're going to be getting level 6s soon out of the top lane, and now you have Shen's level 6 up. So are they going to be able to find this a possible pick here with the Shen grab? But right now, there's going to be Hito and getting to pick onto Manic. Manic's going to be getting very low, having to flash on out of there. This is going to be good damage back into Hito. Now Astros all by themselves, going to be slowly whittled down by Bagels, but Kunde is going to be getting the pickup. Manic's going to be pretty low here. Are they able to pick up the kill? Bagels is going to be picking up this kill as well. The Ghost on the Mordekaiser really paying some dividends here.
Yeah, Mordekaiser doesn't even have level 6 yet, where he's really in the 1v1 me bro mood. It looks like this is going to be Dragon here with all those kills they were able to secure. That's going to mean a lot here.
So right now, the very early Dragon pickup, and we already have a 1.5k gold lead. It really isn't as just kind of large as it was last game. But right now, with So King trying to go on a Dragon, there's going to be trading half health for half health. But Shen is in a little bit of an advantage at this point just because of the amount of minions here, and the shield is going to be helping him heal this back up.
Yeah, not to mention Grasp also helps you heal, and you're a little bit mobile here. It looks like Dargaven's going for some warding, or perhaps a Scuttler here.
Ooh, right now, Maniac and Andy are possibly looking for something on to Next, but Bagel is going to be here for this play. Next is kind of getting low here. Hito's there with a possible pop-up. Maniac trying to run away, but this is looking kind of dire. Gets the Ignite onto Next, but is unable to get the stun off, and now Next is able to get the pickup. There's going to be an R on to Andy. Andy is going to be poking some damage into Bagels, but unable to get anything further there. Going to be running away from that for free.
Yeah, very good spacing from your Next. Baiting out Andy's 4th stun there. Living and being able to take the kill here. That's 2 kills up. A little bit of a CS deficit, but 2 kills is going to make up more than enough of that.
Right now, Jax is kind of a little bit in the driver's seat, just kind of with the lane level, and Hito's kind of getting a lot of these roams off. They got the roam in the river before, trying to get a look onto Astro here. So Hito's kind of been all over the place, looking for a lot of these engage angles in both of these games.
Yeah, Rakan really enables a lot of moving over to mid, moving over to top, and getting some of these roams off, especially if your AD carries back. They get some nice kills, and they're going to need to refresh their HP, not to mention spend that blood money they earned from the murder that they committed.
That is one way of putting it, but right now Dragovin in trouble here. Bogus going to be coming in with the ultimate. That is not going to be killing him, but so can... Oh, is he going to be able to... He's going to be able to get away with that. That Ghost saving his life. That was very, very close. Bogus might be trying to go over the wall, possibly look for an angle. No, he's going to be getting away there for free. No sums outside the Ghost used, but that very, very well played by Dragovin being able to get out there.
I know we talked about earlier the fact that Zed has a little bit healthier of a wave clear, or camp clear, I should say, between his camps, and he's able to do it a lot faster, but it looks like the farm is fairly even here between Mordekaiser and Zed. So we'll have to see if this is going to continue, or if a gold lead is going to be able to stem the advantage there.
So right now, I think that Zed, although has been trying to get a lot of these kills, is unable to find anything up until this point. And with the first strike, I believe that he the first strike he has, it's kind of hard to see. He's not really snowballing as much as he would love to.
Yeah, when you're an assassin, when you're ahead, you really feel it, but when you're behind, you're not going to be having the damage that you're expecting, and it's going to make you a lot harder to burst these targets, and you don't want to really be jumping into a Xayah. You're just going to ult, and then E, and they're going to be locked down, and then dead.
So now we're going to possibly see a Rift Herald thrown in the top side here, and Soking's going to be a little bit of a hard spy. He's going to be starting to get whittled down here. Half health, going to be losing 2 tower plates here. He's going to be in a little bit of a rough spot. Obviously, Shen has a lot of kind of early kind of capability in the game, but now he's going to be getting a possible grab onto Goals, but Goals getting away with the sliver.
Yeah, taking that tower shot there, got him relatively close, but as a jungle, you can heal up in there. It looks like Bogus here is getting a little bit chunked here by Karma.
Kunji just absolutely just laying all these abilities into Bogus there.
Yeah, it's the beautiful thing is Karma. You can just spam your abilities, and when they hit, it's going to hurt. And if you get it over and over again, it really pays off. I know top Karma was able to play like that, using the Mantra W, able to sustain, poke, and really kite people out. It's more potent than I think people realize.
Say also, I think Kunji's spacing has been just very, very just everything's on like a hair's edge there, where he's able to just space it out well enough where he keeps the tether onto the Zed there, and then able to just return all the abilities, is able to dodge and weave around a lot of Astra's abilities. So he's definitely very comfortable with this champion.
Yeah, comfort certainly is king.
Well, that's gonna be a jump in from Hito. That's going to be a nice grab onto Maniac. Maniac trying to trade back some of that damage with the Tibbers, but is going to be very low here. And with the Dragon up, is going to be a little tough for them. But Dragovin's going to be using the ultimate, going to be getting the stun onto Bogus. Bogus is going to be getting them low, and that's going to be pick up onto King for against Dragovin.
Yeah, they are on the scoreboard 5-1, and they're going to be taking some of these plays to help even it out. Of course, the second Dragon is going to put a little bit of pressure. Dragon Soul is a good win con. We'll have to see what the third Dragon's going to end up being to see what kind of soul they're going to be playing for.
Right now, Hito's going to be looking for a knock-up here. That's going to be a grab onto Andy. That's going to be a root onto him. He's getting low. He has to flash out. Are they going to be able to get the kill? They are unable to get the pickup right now. Curtain Call going to be coming out from Andy, but unable to really find any really kills here. But both of them are very low, and they're going to have to back. But Kunji's going to be coming in from behind and forcing Andy to have to stay. Right now, Astro's trying to rotate to try to help Andy here. Kunji kind of in a very bad spot here. They're all rotating to it. Bogus is down here, but now Bagels is here as well. Shen's going to be TPing down here. This is an all-out brawl. They're going to be getting the pickup onto Uranex. Uranex is going to be flashing away, trying to get away with it as fast as they can. But right now, Soking is going to be jumping in after them. That's going to be Astro getting the pickup onto Uranex. And right now, Bagels is going to be ulting at Astro here. And Astro is going to be very low, and that's going to be and kill onto him from Bagels.
Yeah, these 1-for-1 trades.
Oh, that's going to be canceling the TP. So right now, Jax is going to be getting a lot of damage on the top side, but Kunji is going to be falling here. If they're able to get that top lane turret killed, that's going to be pretty strong for them. That's going to be worth Kunji's death there.
It could be. This is going to be a lot of tempo to concede. When Jax gets ahead with all these tower plates, it means a lot. But when you're down a person, that's like that's one less turn that your team potentially has here if they weren't going to be, backing there.
So right now, it definitely looks like Rat Pack is in the driver's seat. How do they keep this momentum going forward? What do they need to do?
Well, I think they need to be playing it slow here. Like, we saw them throw a little bit of the gold lead that they originally had, and Mythic Rising was able to really capitalize on that, kind of like I was speaking about last game. And when you're able to make some of those punishments, you're going to be coming back and get the gold lead as well. Rad, they just play slow. They have a lot of pressure with Dragon Soul coming up. And it's Chemtech Soul too, which is going to be quite potent as well. At least the dragons in themselves. The soul is a little bit weaker than some of the other ones, but still nonetheless, a soul is a soul.
It's interesting to note that in both games, you had Chemtech that was going to be the soul here, but right now, Dragonvin's trying to go in on a Soaking, but is unable to get that quick pickup, and now Dragonvin's in a bad spot. Bogus in the top lane, going to be picking up that kill onto Dragonvin. It seems that Bogus is really kind of watching this top lane just to make sure that Soaking can kind of win some of these fights.
Yeah, Dragonman was very good in the 1v1s, but the moment the number scales tipped over, it's a lot harder for them to execute some of these plays. So
right now, Hito's going to be going in for the bot lane, getting the flash in, getting the charms off. Right now, picking up Andy. Kunji's going to be getting the root onto him, but there's going to be pickup from Your Next onto Maniac, and he's going to be also picking up Andy. It's good. That's well played by Your Next. Going to be getting a lot of these kills for the side of the Rat Pack here. But that's going to be a pickup on the far side of the map against Bagels.
Yeah, these cross-map plays are really evening out the gold. Of course, 1 to 2 kills is not going to help it, but you got to keep in mind, Rift Herald was on top side. Ooh. Some resources were expended.
Dragonvin's able to get the kill onto Bogus there, and now is going to be trying to possibly turn the play in against Soaking. But Kunji's going to be coming in, giving in the shielding. Astro is going to be getting kind of low here, getting the ultimate off, but Dragonvin's going to be getting the pickup here. Lethal Tempo putting it in the work here. Dragonvin's going to be getting 3 kills here in this exchange, and most likely going to be getting the Shelly.
Yeah, Lethal Tempo. Don't forget about Kunji. Getting some CC there, getting some shielding, making sure that Dragonvin stays alive was really important there. Dragon's going to be coming up in 45 seconds, so we'll have to see if we're able to lock down Soaking topside, or if he's going to have to forego his wave and maybe sacrifice this tower or a bunch of damage to it.
So I think this is going to be very strong having the Jax with this this Herald here. Being able to throw this Herald into the tower and take it, because Jax obviously just with the auto attack reset just burns through these towers. I think they really have to keep and Shen is not going to have an easy time TPing to any of these people because Jax can stun them at will.
That is true.
Right now, Hito's going to be jumping in again. No rest for the Wicked. Maniac's going to be just constantly dove by Hito here, and Next is going to be getting that pickup. Bogus is looking to possibly come in from the side angle here. Going on to Next. Next is going to be using an ultimate, but that's going to be an R onto Bogus here, and Bagel is just going to be laying in the damage here. Hito's trying to get the push away. Hito's kind of getting low here, but right now Bogus is going to be getting out. Andy's going to be committing the curtain call here. Is he able to find anything? It would appear that he is not going to be able to. Right now, Soaking and Dragonvin really duking it out in the top lane, but Soaking's going to be getting low. It seems like Dragonvin's going to be getting the pickup there.
Yeah, the level lead there wasn't quite enough. Dragonvin trying to get that. One of the things to note is when you're pushing up this far, you are very close to the enemy's base and very far away from yours. So if you're not able to get away and get an exit plan, they could be getting ganked here. I don't think they'll be going for the tier 3 tower. They might be going bot here, and they're going to be trading.
Guji's going to be trying to space off the team. He's going to be going down to half here, but now they're going to be looking for a possible grab onto Astro or to Maniac. Bogus going to be looking over the wall, trying to get some extra damage off, and this is just going to be a disengage. Right now, you still have Dragonvin shoving in the top wave here. That's going to be a TP out from Astro.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of gold. We're talking nearly 33 K gold versus 28. That's 5,000. That's certainly a formidable lead here. It can be thrown. It has been done, but it's going to be a lot harder. We're seeing a TP bot lane trying to stop Kunji here.
Right now, so King's going to be coming in here. He has the Heartsteel now, so he's going to be kind of scaling into this game a bit more, but Jax has 2 completed items here. Him being able to get that tower earlier on was very, very potent for his snowballing ability.
Don't forget about Bork. Bork is a very strong item. A lot of money, or a lot of stats for the money you end up spending. And it's going to be a lot harder to run away, not just because of the leaps, not just because of the stun, but there's a more of a slow if you're able to get those 3 autos off, which is not that hard to do as Jax.
Right now, Hito has just been absolutely brutal, coming in with a lot of these different flanks and just kind of laying waste to either Maniac or to Andy. But Dragonman's not really just respecting it. Soaking, going to be running in after him, but Bogus is there for him. Going to be coming in with the R here, trying to get in as much damage as he can, but Bogus is going to be falling to Dragonman. Dragonman's forcing a Soaking flash over the wall. Dragonman's trying to follow up as best he can. Probably going to get a blast cone out of there. And that's going to be the end of that play.
Yeah, do you think Heartsteel is going to be enough here, or should he be conceded the scaling here and maybe gone with more of a Jack show on the Shen?
So that's definitely very difficult to look at. I think that Heartsteel is a little bit too late in the game. I think that Jack show would be better because I think the team needs resistances. I think they need more things to help them, and I think that Heartsteel is not going to allow you to stay late in a lot of these fights. What is the support item whenever immobilized? What is the name of that one? Not Mikhail's. It's the Mythic. Whenever you deal, your teammates deal extra damage.
Oh, I can't remember.
That one I think would actually be a surprise good option. Kunchi trying to get out here the best they can. That's going to be force shot coming in from Andy. That's going to be getting that pickup here. You are next is trying to get out. Hito's trying to get the charms away. Next is very, very low here. Going to be getting the pickup onto Bogus here. That's going to be a double pickup for Hito. Hito putting in the work right now, getting this double kill. Maniac trying to get out with their life, and Hito's kind of being unrelenting here. There's going to be a cleanse from Next. Next going to be living there.
Yeah, the item you were thinking of was an Even Shroud.
Even Shroud, there we go. I think Even Shroud would be very effective and potent for their team. Being able to get, obviously, TP to your teammate, but then jumping in. Because right now you're going to be lacking a fair bit of damage because you're kind of down a lot of gold.
It looks like Soaking is trying to match the Jax. A lot of his team is not able to match Dargavan. So I could see maybe not that working out as well, unless he's going to be going for more of a 5v5 play, which might be what he needs to do. A lot of the plays that have been successful is when he ults in, commits to the fight, and they end up getting some kills there.
So right now, you're next, possibly looking here in a little bit of a risky spot, but he's going to be catching Bogus on the ward there. So good warding for you are next to really kind of spot out this side flank. But now we're quickly approaching 8.5k gold lead.
Yeah, Dragon is going to be coming up in a minute. That's going to be Soul, as in Rats are at Soul Point. This could be lights out, and there's
Hito getting the flash in, going to be getting the charms. That's going to be a double grab onto Andy and Maniac. This bot lane going to go down to Kunji here. That's very, very well played by Hito there, getting that double grab. But now there's going to be extended play. Soaking's going to be grabbed out here. He's going to be dashing through. Hito trying to get the further pickup. That's going to be a pullback by Bagels. Are they going to be able to get any further damage? It will. Ooh, this is close. They're looking for pokes here.
Yeah, the fluid movement by Hito here has been very deadly to go against. And you know, Dopamine has been seeing what the Lovers duo is doing, and they're going in with their ally, and they're dying with their ally. Getting picked here as the backline does not help your team, but it can be quite hard to do when the gold lead is so large.
So right now, it looks like the Jax might be trying to go for a possible cheese play onto Bogus here. He's going to be getting a tether out. And right now they're trying to space out for the rest of the team so they can get this soul coming through, but Mythic is not going to be going down without a fight. However, they're going to be picking up Dragon on the backside. They're unable to get there fast enough. Now, with Chemtech's soul, is this the nail in the coffin for Mythic?
This particular soul isn't that potent. It is not Hex Soul, but the gold lead, on the other hand, is quite potent. It's very hard to fight into a 10,000 gold differential, and we all know they got their backs off, so they've been able to expend all this gold that they've been able to accrue. The team is going to have to play towards their towers, understand that maybe an inhib or two is going to fall, and we'll have to see if they overextend and get a pick here, or perhaps die to a Baron buff. You know, Baron, when you fight the Baron, you lose a lot of your resistances, which is going to make the team a little bit more vulnerable, and perhaps that's what you need to be able to pop them.
Right now, Bagel is going to be getting off some of this damage. Soaking looking for the grab over the wall, but looks like this is going to just be a disengage for them. I don't know if they're going to be able to pick anything out. Right now, it looks like they're just going to be going for the Lux poke here, and the Zed coming in with just a lot of these spells.
Yeah. Astro is a little low in mana here, but they have the right idea for sure. Trying to poke him away and minimize any wave that they're able to use and protect some of these towers.
Ooh, Hito going to be getting the grab on Astro. Astro is going to be falling and going down. Right now, Soaking is going to be diving in onto them. URNX is going to be committing the R, going to be getting the jump back. Soaking is going to most likely be going down. Bogus is trying to dive into the back line. Right now, URNX is getting pretty low here. Soaking going to be going down. Dragovin coming in from the top side here, going to be getting some of these pickups now. And this looks like this is going to be a 4v1 for Andy. Is Andy going to be able to find this play here? Has Ghost active. Right now, Dragovin diving in, getting a lot of damage off here. Andy having the Ghost able to kite a lot of this out, but Kunji's going to be able to get this damage through, and that's going to be an ace for Rat Pack.
Yeah, Astro's going to be up here soon, but it might be too late. Just a thing to note here, the moment they left their base, they were able to get picked, and they ended up dying. A bit of a BMTP here coming from Kunji. Holy, the heal coming out of that W was absolutely massive. This is going to be their first Nexus tower, but they're kind of low, and they're going to be coming back. Everyone except for Andy's going to be here. They might be able to get a pick with how low they are. And,
they're coming through, but these blast plants are going to be giving them kind of the ability to like really get on out here. It's going to be a jump away. And that's going to be Jax by himself, but he's pretty healthy with these extra shields. Soaking missing the jump over the wall. It's going to be a flash from Bogus. Kunji's going to be barely dodging that R from the Lux. He's going to be kind of getting low here, but wow. The amount of healing coming out of that Radiant Virtue is really going to be savior there. That's going to be an attempt grab by Soaking, but Soaking's unable to find the pickup there. Now you have Bagel's coming in from the side lane. Kunji still just able to take all this abuse and just keep going. He's going to be going in on Maniac. Going to be getting the root off here. Tibbers going to be coming down, but they're going to be getting the pickup onto Maniac. Right now, it's just Soaking trying to fight 1v3, is unable to really put any further damage in. And that's going to be 2 going down on the side of Mythic.
Yeah, the Radiant Virtue, getting a lot of heals. Don't forget about the shielding and healing power out of the other items, the Mikhails. And don't forget about the Idol as well, giving some more there. It's going to make this mid-Karma pick from Kunji super potent. And with the team being full, they're able to take this Baron, because Bogus is not able to steal it. And this is probably going to be the last nail in the coffin here. They're going to be able to push. And there's only one Nexus turret. And then I suppose there is bot turret protecting their inhib as well. But with these waves being shoved for free because inhibitors are down, they're going to have to play to their base. Hope that they can hold things down, get the right pick, and maybe get a counter push to maybe end the game or stem the bleeding a little bit.
So right now, do you think that the XP gain from the super minions is going to be enough to kind of off-put the kind of first 28 minutes of this game? Or do you think that this is going to be somewhat of a foregone conclusion?
It could help, but it might just be lights out. Baron buff here with the super minions is quite potent. They do have a little bit of AP damage with Astro's Lux and Maniac's Annie, but when you're support, you don't quite have the items that you need to burst people out here.
Right now, Maniac just trying to run around their tower like a Maniac, but is going to be falling then to Bagels. Going to be coming in with Hito here with all the charms. Andy barely living there, getting on out, but Astro's going to then be going down to Bagels. Bagels is going to be getting a possible grab onto Andy here, but this is all, folks, 30-6 for the side of Rat Pack, and that is going to be the best of 3. So, looking at this game, or kind of looking at this set, who do you think was kind of the MVP?
Well, I actually really got to be going to Mahito's Rakan there. A lot of those movements were really fluid, and being able to jump back and forth was really well done and helped secure a lot of these plays and protect people that needed to get this. But Kunji is also a contender, in my opinion, getting a lot of healing out of that game and being able to protect their allies.
I think I have to say of the overall set, I think Hito was really an unsung hero. Landed a lot of these engage options with both Thresh and the Rakan, so doing a very, very good job there. And honestly, Bagels also just put in a lot of work as well. But that's going to be all from us, folks. And I would like to wish you all a good night.